about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return, second right hand, that clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo, the win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent...
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. Once again, you're welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is here with me. Salifu, once again, welcome to the midweek edition of Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always a pleasure.
All right, we'll begin straight from the Commonwealth Games, which is just by the corner, where the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Derry, has directed all relevant authorities to ensure that the necessary tests are carried out on all athletes before the takeoff of contingents to the 2022 Commonwealth Games holding in Birmingham in July. He gave the directive on Tuesday during the stakeholders of the 2022 Commonwealth Games held at the Moshood Abiola Stadium right here in Abuja. According to him, Nigeria will not hesitate to drop any athlete who attempts to tarnish the image of the country again. We will prefer to come back from the games without medals rather than being embarrassed for a second time. There must be no exceptions, he insisted. Dari, who said that the countdown to the game has already started with 60 days to the event, added that the ministry is already working with the NOC, that's the Nigerian Olympic Committee, to ensure that contingents, accommodation, camping, testing, and ticketing are adequately taken care of. I mean, I think it's a good move from the minister. He doesn't want lightning to strike twice.
Yeah,
preventing a repeat of what happened in Tokyo and the embarrassment it brought to not just Nigeria but even to the Olympic community as a whole.
I think you get it right there. The right way. Don't allow the lightning to strike for a second time. And like in the local part, is twice beat, twice size.
Yeah.
So and I think from this, I believe he has have learned his lesson. What really happened at the Tokyo Olympic, the disqualified 10 athlete saga, and up to today, that incident is still really ugly head in many of Nigeria's memory. A lot of Nigeria has not forgive Sunday Dara and his team for what led to that incident, that international embarrassment, and we hope that all the federations who are going for the Olympic will hit to this call. And at the same time, it is not yet enough for you to just give a directive.
Exactly. And
as an administrator, as a supervisor, as a general overseer or a general supervisor, you still need to monitor and ensure that your directive and your instructions are carried out properly. Because at the end of the day, if there's still another lapses that happen, nobody will call any federation president, nobody will call an athlete name, nobody will call anybody name. It's still you, the Minister of Youth and Sport, that people will still call your name. So yet it is good that it's reminding everyone that ensure that all the necessary tests be carried out, and at the same time, I urge that it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
It doesn't lie on the minister's table alone. Yes, his instructions come from him. He has given the instructions, and all that necessary to be done should be put together and follow that instruction, not just instruction by word. Put all the necessary equipment and all the necessary arrangements to be made to ensure that all these athletes are properly tested and satisfied before leave the country for the Commonwealth Game. And he needs to use his office to monitor properly and ask questions, ask the right questions, minute by minute. And the good thing is that he has appointed I think the appointment of the former Kwatamilas, Yusuf Ali, as a team coordinator. So I think that will definitely assess the issues and easy out a lot of things. And thank God that although the incident within AFN, the crisis of AFN, the leadership of AFN is still not yet central. The faction is still silent again, but at least there's some seamless element
they're not making
of
as much noise or causing havoc the way it's happening in the basketball.
past. So there's a seamless level of settlement and there's peace, relative peace in AFN. I think that right now the leadership of AFN led by the Okowa Tonobo will be able to, and his team should do the necessary thing, and all other federations who are going for the Commonwealth, I think 9 of them should ensure that the athletes are properly taxed and ensure that no any sign of relations will be fed this country again.
Well, I think one thing I'm happy about, he said the ministry is already working with the Olympic Committee to ensure accommodation, camping, testing, and especially kids. Remember, even the issue we had with kids in the Olympics. So I really hope that all these things will be taken care of so that we won't go to the Commonwealth and we'll now have an issue. But of course, in the Olympics, we all know what arose, what the reason behind the kids issue. So we hope that this time around, those issues won't really be.
Yes, I agree with you. And at the same time, although most of the athletes that are going for the Commonwealth game, though they are individualists and as a federation, most of them are participating in the various competitions. At least I also feel that yes, 2 months of the competitions, we are all some athletes are some serious countries are already on top of their preparation. Yeah. So I think we need to intensify and up our preparations, not just sit waiting for the last minute. We see that 2 months is still a average, still a chance for us to make a preparation, but we are going to compete with the other countries, and those countries are ahead of it in terms of preparation. So we need to up our game. There's no time to waste it.
All right. Away from that now to the Nigerian Premier League, where the LMC actually has sanctioned Kwara United and orders them to play their home games without fans. This is due to a match with 28 incidents against Rivers United, actually where against Shooting Stars of Ibadan, where there was encroachment of fans on the pitch. Over and over again, we keep seeing this issue happen in our sport. Well, when you talk about it, the other day, me and some colleagues were talking, he was saying, well, some of these incidents, you begin to see it happen in Europe. I mean, even on the final day of the EPL, these fans of Man City actually entered to the pitch to the point that they climbed the goalpost and actually broke the bar. Because so sometimes this kind of behavior, although not encouraged, but you begin to see these things. And even recall the game when Everton escaped relegation, where the fans went haywire and encroached the pitch. So, but in order to stop this, in celebration,
but not to attack officials.
Exactly. But again, there still has to be a way of maybe doing proper barricades so that to prevent this thing. But in most cases, when this happens in Nigeria, is that fans are encroaching not to celebrate, but to attack either referees or attack opposing players, which has become a norm consistent over and over again. We all saw that even for MFM against Heartland, where MFM has also been banished to Ijebu as it is right now. And now we are seeing this case again with Kwara United.
I think to me, in as much as the League Management Committee, the LMC is trying their best to ensure to put these kinds of situations under control by putting some sanctions and fines here and there. It's like, to me, it's like the appropriate hammer
sanction has not
been wielded. But if you with a very heavy stick or traction, give a very
maybe point deduction or something.
Yes, point deduction should be the best option. Yeah. For instance, Kwara United played that match against Shooting Star under a ban.
Yeah.
There was a restriction. Remember their match against River United when there was an encroachment. So because of that, so LMC pronounced a section that they should play that match, not allow any fans to ban the fans from watching that match. But to the surprise of many and every other person, and including LMC, you play a match under a ban, not allowed. Under instruction that you play behind the closed door. So how now come in a match against City Star, there's still a fans coming to the stadium to the extent to even encroach into the stadium. So in that case, if you have given them to play behind a closed door and they violated that rule, to me, it's not giving them that the same rule again. By this time, ask if you are not given a point deduction, you also ban them to move to another a far distance. Probably ask them to go and play in Bruno. Maybe that would have be enough to put their fans under control. Because this issue, that's what we say, it may look as if it's a joke or something. It is not helping. It is not helping in the development of football. In a tension where a fan, the beauty of football is for entertainment.
Yeah.
But in a move when a fans we are coming to the stadium with intention to harm somebody,
Exactly.
it's totally annoying. We are coming to the stadium with the intention to harm an opposing player or even an official. An official for your ordinary is supposed to be your special guest. Your guest is supposed to protect them and give them any form of responsibility or any kind of love to be extended to them. Rather, you turn against them to attack them. So so to me, LMC, yes, will commend what they are doing, but the sanction they are giving is not enough. For instance, like they give Kano a point deduction, give MF a point deduction, that would have been better. For it, like this incident happened now, okay, maybe you cut off 6 points from Kwara United.
Exactly.
That would be enough to ask their fans to under control.
All right, still on to football now, talking about Super Eagles goalkeeper, that's Francis Uzoho, has debunked rumors that he has quit the Super Eagles. This is coming on the heels of the performance he put off during that World Cup qualifier between Nigeria and Ghana, where, according to a lot of fans, actually put the blame on him for the goal, that long-range effort by Thomas Partey, where he didn't do enough to actually keep that ball out. But he has come to debunk those rumors to say that he is not ready to quit the national team. He's saying, I'm committed to playing for my dear country anytime I'm called up. Uzo told the Super Eagles media team so far he has 18 caps for Super Eagles of Nigeria. I mean, even if it was true that he's going to quit the national team, will he miss him? Are we going to miss him?
Well, he's one of our goalkeepers.
No, that's the lighter note actually.
The lighter note, yes.
Yes.
But although he has so you give it to him. He has played his part, representing the country well. He was at the last World Cup in Russia, keeping the goalpost that he did. He actually put on a brilliant performance there. But even the best goalkeeper of this world also make a mistake.
Yeah.
Nobody's above mistake. Yes, in as much as everybody agreed that everyone believe that goal from Thomas Partey, if he has been on an alert, he should have been able to keep
Looks
that
like
ball.
he lost concentration.
He will be able to call that boy away. But to me, I see that he was not expecting the shot from Thomas Partey and that shot take him on away and the ball find it. It happened to every goalkeeper, even the best goalkeeper I can think of.
Yeah,
From the past to the end of the day to the one. You remember even the whole Oliver Kahn. You see how Yokusha messed him, up to today. That was still you will never forget that kind of history. So it happened to even the best goalkeeper of the world, but the Nigerians should not continue to come about this issue. Asking the guy to but it's good that he said that he cannot but the speculation become on the high when they released the last list for the friendly and he was missing and people should not attribute that he's missing. But to me, I say that because if you look at that list, there's two indigenous goalkeepers, two home-based goalkeepers on that list.
Deserve to be given a chance.
So in my own mind, and I was thinking that in the thinking of the coaches was that to give opportunity for the local coach and see what the local goalkeeper to do. So people should notice that because he was missed on the list, that he has put the. So what do you say of them? That Akpai doesn't that Akpai that was not on the list was also now within the national team? No. So it's good that he came out to say no, I'm not with. He's ready to. And if he move quit, if he quit the national team, that means his career is as good as over because he's playing in Cyprus. So he still needs. I think he still needs to Super Eagles to keep his career running.
I mean, and Nigeria is fond of doing this thing. Remember, same thing happened to Marika Okoye in that match against Tunisia. How Nigerians almost crucified him, and the young man I think he's even becoming scared of even playing for Nigeria.
And people, although not confirmed, people say that Okoye purposely escape
course,
the World Cup
yeah,
qualifier
exactly.
because of that.
Exactly. And even in this friendly, he has asked to be excused from it, from what we heard, that he has to be
He
excused.
purposely escaped the World
Of
Cup
course.
qualifier because of that fear of what
Yes.
happened and the kind of message sent to him. And all.
Exactly.
So I think we should learn how to control ourselves when this kind of thing happens. You shouldn't crucify a player because we lose a match.
I agree with you completely. Well, so for Zoho, I feel she still has a lot to offer the national team. So
Very long.
I mean, he's still a very young goalkeeper. So I mean, the likes of Akbe has been on the sidelines for many years, and he's not talking about retiring. So for Zoho, he should continue being between the sticks for the Super Eagles. Anyway, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome to Sports Orbit. Well, on to our next story now, a bit of transfer news. Well, Victor Osimhen is still in the news in the last couple of weeks. There's always been in news concerning his transfer. Today you hear Man United are leading the race. Tomorrow you hear it's Newcastle. The next day you hear that he has said he's staying with Napoli. Then now we're hearing that Arsenal are actually intensifying a push for a deal to sign Osimhen. Actually, from what we have, that he has had talks over a move for Osimhen as they continue attempts to also land Gabriel Jesus from Man City. Also, now looking at this for now is still in the realm of rumor, but considering the price tag that Napoli have placed on his head, do you think if Napoli gives the go ahead, you think it's something Arsenal can pull off?
Going by Arsenal antecedent, that is something that everybody will worry. I don't think going by Arsenal antecedent in the transfer market, either Arsenal will be willing to pull out such money for just a player. What is yet to be seen? Or sometimes Arsenal break record. They happen. They pay the kind of money we expect them to pay on MSOZ.
Yeah.
They also happen. It also happened
For Pepe.
Pepe. So who knows whether they can begin to spring surprise again and bring out the kind of money that because Arsenal definitely need a class striker going for the next season. And if Osimhen will be willing to come to my Arsenal, to me it would be a good ideal deal for both sides. Osimhen is a good scorer, and Arsenal is a team that creations is but they lack finishers. So if they can get Osimhen coming in, it will be a good idea for them. But only one is that, and with a lot of other clubs competing for 7 signatures, Arsenal will be able to withstand the heat, and with the money involved, that's another different thing. But Osimhen his own has come out to say that no, he's not willing to leave, that he will stay with Napoli and to learn more. If he asked me for advice, I also advise him to stay in Napoli and play for not next season. You can't. Last season he played one season in Serie A. This is the one season in Napoli, and I wanted to move. And then I would advise him that he just stay there, play for another season in Napoli, and stabilize yourself and learn what. Even the last season, we think the first season in Napoli, there's injury issues and here and there. So just pray for injury free for another second season, and whatever you do, next season you'll be free to move anywhere you wanted to move to. But in football, sometimes it's all about football is about business.
Yeah,
It's totally about business.
Mm.
Even the way if player is not willing to, wanted to leave, and if the the right price comes for the club, they're after money and they want to make more profit. Even as Napoli want to keep him, the right money come, Napoli will easily free him.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, still on transfer news involving yet another Nigerian player. This is talking about Calvin Bassey, where former Scottish manager Alex McLeish said that Rangers could listen to offers for defender Calvin Bassey if they receive a monstrous bid in the summer. Recall that since this summer, actually, especially with the performances that this young man has put off, there has been plenty of speculation linking him with various clubs, and it seems he has become a very key member of this Rangers squad. And this former Scottish manager is saying, well, for him to move, the offer has to be something very, very huge.
Yeah, that is the right. He said it correctly, and there's no need to pretend about it. Bassi is not just an ordinary player in the Rangers. He's not an ordinary player. He has become an integral part of that squad, and going by what he has what he performed this season, there's no way Rangers will just allow him to go without any reasonable amount of money, and that's why for the former coach is saying that unless the good money come, and I foresee that good money will definitely come.
Yeah, sure.
Based on what Kevin Bassey put on this season, totally in the final against Frankfurt. So those big clubs who are eyeing him definitely need him. And remember, he plays from the left back. Left back is not a player that is common everywhere. There are very few.
Very few. And quality ones.
And very few, and quality ones are lacking. So if you see having somebody like the Bassey and with all the performance, definitely those big clubs will definitely price him the good money from the Rangers. I don't see him playing in Rangers next season. That good money definitely come.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's a player who, I think, with this performance, he should be moving on to a more tougher league where he'll be more visible.
I will be happy if the Bayern Munich I wanted to sign him.
Yeah,
Get to the Bayern Munich.
exactly.
I would prefer to go to the Bayern Munich.
I agree. Anyway, now to another story where the list for England has actually been released, but conspicuously missing this time around is Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho in his place. West Ham forward Jarrod Bowen has been called up in next month's Nations League matches, but Rashford and Sancho are completely out of it. Well, for me, it's not surprising, given that, especially this season, for Sancho, you might say, yes, injuries had not allowed him, but Rashford too, to some extent, injury, but I mean, Rashford throughout this season has not been the Rashford that we used to know. His performances this season have been nothing to write home about. And I think, of course, Gary Southgate has been watching, and I think you could say he's right to actually drop him from the squad.
He's right, and I believe that the story is just emanating, and people, journalists are just writing about short story. Because feeling that, bear in mind what happened in the Euro final, people are still feeling that anytime they not see them on the England squad or the England list, maybe there's because of what will transpire in the final of the Euro.
But the likes of Saka and all of them are back on the team.
So maybe because of transfer, when those guys based decisive penalty. But just like you say, invitations to the national team is always on the merit, except in this side of our own world where sometimes it could be your
connection,
it could be your
long leg,
it could be your merit. If not, your invitation to the national team is just purely on the merit and purely on your present form. And based on the present form and based on the current form, I don't think sanctions and Rashford deserve to be, because there are many people competing for players competing for space, and you can see the young man at West Ham, despite playing the West Ham, has deserved to be called up for the first time. He's always on a merit. He called up for a national team. He's always on a merit. So if you sleep, you expect that somebody will take your chances. There's no two ways about it.
We're away from that now to the Europa Conference League, the inaugural edition. Actually, today is the final of the Europa Conference League, and Jose Mourinho's Roma will be up against FC Rotterdam of Holland. And I'm sure Mourinho will be hoping to make history as the first manager ever to win the inaugural Europa Conference League. And going by Mourinho's antecedents, this is one man who has never lost a final. And I'm sure he'll be going all out to ensure that he puts his name in the history books as the first coach to win the first ever Europa Conference League.
No matter name you give the type tournament, or no matter how you call the competitions, as far as the competitions and when you get to the final, he doesn't care. Even a tomato cup, Mourinho will definitely make sure that he gets to the final and win it.
Exactly.
And at the same time, just like you say, he always make his name to you. Remember, he called himself the special one. and he always want to be the first.
Mhm.
Now is an opportunity for him to record another first.
Yeah.
And even when that happens, be rest assured to happen in the media tomorrow morning.
Of course.
What we just
Clearly.
do
And of course, if he wins this, he'll be the first coach to have won the Champions League,
Europa
the Europa League, and now the Conference League.
Conference League. So, but it will be another. It will be a tough one for him this side, and a very good one. And another good thing apart from Mourinho, that even Tammy Abraham, who was everybody thought he was not good enough, was laid off from Chelsea.
Just like went to Roma and Mourinho turned to a different player.
Treated that guy as if thank God for Mourinho bring to Roma. Now he's a messiah in a Roma.
Of course.
This is a put on fantastic
And
scoring
he was-
7 goals.
He was actually
and 9 goals in the conference league. In the conference league.
and he was pushed away from Chelsea because of a certain Romelu Lukaku who
Yes.
has nothing to write
Nothing
home
to
about
do.
this season at all.
So I think it was under Lampard. You know, he was good. Lampard was using him.
No, he used him very well.
Very well.
He was a key player under Lampard.
Tuchel that came and grabbed him that doesn't need him. And now see what the guy has get to the Roma, and I believe he may not play in Roma next season because if you go by the way he performed this season for Roma,
And another thing, there'll also be a Nigerian in action for Feyenoord.
Yes.
That's a very good player. He has been impressive all season for Feyenoord, and especially in this
because of him, for that, I'll pray that Mourinho should test defeat in the final for the first time.
All right, so our final story still on to Kylian Mbappe. Recall that he finally renewed his contract for another 3 years with PSG. That will take him to 2025. But according to him, he's saying, his decision to stay at PSG has not affected his dream of eventually playing for Real Madrid. For me, I think he has a point, but the only difference there will be that if he continues to stay in top form, because in another 3 years, he'll just be 26 years, still has plenty of years.
Yes.
But the question is, will he be a better player than he is now? Will he still be playing at that level when in 3 years' time? Because sometimes with players, you never know. Some players start on a high and you give them another 2-3 years and they fall. That's why credit must always be given to players like Ronaldo and Messi for being at the top for almost 15 years.
Yes.
You know, so will he be at the top in another 3 years? That's another question.
That will depend on how he work on himself, and just like you say, he's half age here, and it's expected that in the next 3 years, going by.
In fact, he'll just be hitting his peak.
Going by his age, he'll just be hitting his peak. So he has he's still developing and he's still growing.
Exactly.
So, but my fear is that either he will not allow all the hype for him, and more importantly, that he has even made him the lord of PSG. If he not go to his head, but he still have a very bright future if he work on himself and keep his head down. But he's one of the players I admire most. I admire him most because he live a very simple life, unlike other players who keep draw all the form of cartoons in his body. Anytime you see him come out very clean and very nice to look. So that's something I admire so much about him, the way his outlook. Very simple guys to look. And if you continue to work on himself and maintain his discipline, I think seeing that in the next 3 years, still have a chance. If he may not even serve out the 3 years contract he had signed at the PSG. But if you don't allow the law that they have made him now at the lot of the PSG get into his head.
Exactly. Anyway, with that story, we have come to today's episode of Sports Orbit. Don't forget the Europa Conference League is on tonight. 2 Nigerians will be in action. Well, one of them plays for England. The other one has just 1 cap, or is it 2 caps for Nigeria? So we'll be looking at that one, rooting for him to see if he will at least help Feyenoord to the title this season. Anyway, Salifu, thank you for being in the studio once again on this midweek edition of Sports Orbit.
Thank you.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again with another exciting and refreshing episode of Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Acho. Stay safe out there. Goodbye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.